Are you getting the most out of your training? On this episode of Tactical Tidbits, I'll show you how changing the way you think about training can help you improve any technical skill. Hello once again, friends. I'm Herman Morris from Alpha One Tactical. Please help me share the gift of safety with as many people as possible by sharing and liking this video. All right, we're back to dealing with mindset this week. In this case, mindset as it relates to training. Today, I'm going to share with you an approach to training that I've employed with great success in both the personal defense field and the business world. Now, this mindset about training will help you develop or improve any technical skill. It doesn't just have to be about personal defense. And the beauty about this approach is that it's very simple and straightforward, and it will seem to most of you as common sense. The problem is that it isn't very common precisely because not a lot of people actually put much thought into this topic. So let's get right to it. For starters, the way we think about training itself can be an issue. When we refer to training, we usually include everything under the sun in that category. Taking a class, if we're messing around on our own or with a friend, tinkering in the garage, whatever. We think that anything we do in which we're employing a particular skill is training. The problem with this approach is that it can give us an inflated sense of just how productive we're being, as well as how much time and effort we're actually investing in our development. And in some cases, it might even result in us getting very good at the wrong thing. For that reason, I like to break down the whole concept of training into three categories. The first one is, well, training. But in this case, training means formal training. The instances where we pay to learn under the supervision, guidance, and feedback of a subject matter expert. Now that builds the foundation of our learning, as it's the best opportunity to develop the right skills that we will then practice on our own. And that takes us to the second category, practice. Practice refers to the informal practice and drilling of a skill or components of a skill without the supervision of an expert. Now, this will make up the bulk of our learning, given that we are limited by time and budget as to how much formal training we can do. That's why it's so important that we get the most out of our formal training classes. The more that we can mimic on our own what we did in class, the more productive our practice sessions will be. And that's usually the biggest challenge with this category. Precisely because we're not under the supervision of an expert, it's very easy for our practice sessions to devolve into merely tinkering. And more on that shortly. The key to a meaningful and productive practice session is to make it purposeful and goal-oriented. Now, what that means is that you should plan ahead of time what skill or components of a skill you're aiming to improve. And then that includes how many reps that will entail and how you will actually measure what that improvement. Is it going to be about speed, accuracy, quality, or a mix of all those? Because this is where we'll spend most of our time learning. It's crucial that we bring to practice the same level of seriousness that is usually present in a formal training class. Now, the third category is tinkering. Now, tinkering is when we use a skill or skills in our free time without any structure or particular goal. I bet that for most of you, this sounds more like what you thought you were doing when you're practicing. That's why it's so important that we know and understand these categories. Tinkering plays an important role in our development as it provides us the opportunity to play, experiment, and think outside the box in general. And from it, we can oftentimes find new and better ways of doing things that are incredibly valuable. However, it should not be the bulk of how we learn, lest we undo all the progress that we made during formal training and practice sessions. Now, I don't have a rule of thumb percentage breakdown of how much one should spend in each category, as it can vary greatly and depends on the skills that one's trying to develop. In some cases, formal training might be highly cost prohibitive and can only be done once or twice a year, if that, and practice has to make up for it. In other cases, Formal training might be readily accessible and can serve as a larger part of your learning. Now, I have created Alpha One to be just that, an opportunity to train under the supervision and guidance of an expert year-round without breaking the bank. So come to learn more about this and other important concepts that will help you be a safer person and improve your performance in many aspects of your life. Check out our class schedule at alpha1tactical.com, and I hope to see you in class soon.